And welcome to Bulls Digest. This is the live post game for the Chicago Bulls as they take a loss to the Milwaukee Bucks tonight. So the Chicago Bulls fall to the Milwaukee Bucks. And I just think that the key takeaway from tonight's game is that Milwaukee was absolutely the physical team in this game. We're going to talk about just how physical they were as the Chicago Bulls get beat 122 to 106. And I think that there's several takeaways from this game. And I just think, ultimately speaking, the Chicago Bulls were in this game. They have got to find a way to keep that energy throughout the game. Once again, we started off with a slow start. And I feel like Zach Lavine and Torrey Craig, those were players that kept us in the game. I think that they were probably our MVPs tonight. And we almost had a chance to walk the Milwaukee Bucks down. But once again, I just think that the Milwaukee Bucks absolutely bullied the Chicago Bulls. And so let's go ahead and jump into the box score quickly. And I'm going to give my thoughts here on this game. And let's start, at the top with Torrey Craig. And so Torrey Craig, I loved everything that Torrey Craig did tonight. I loved the fact that he has not been playing in the rotation, and he came out there as if he had been playing in the rotation, absolutely ready. You talk about a pro's pro, 15 points today, 2 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 block. He was -2 in the plus-minus box score, but I loved how Torrey Craig competed, and I think that this is why you would have got to take it seriously in trading for Torrey Craig, because he has shown that he could be a player that can absolutely step on a contender right now, and he can help that team either go deep in the playoffs or help that team maybe make a title run. And so I think that Torrey Craig did a terrific job tonight stepping in against a tough Milwaukee team that has a lot of length. You knew what Giannis was going to present. I talked about this in the pregame show that it was going to be tough for the Chicago Bulls because they didn't have Patrick Williams, who is one of their prime defenders out there, and he played pretty well against him in the game that we won in Milwaukee prior. And so a good game from Torrey Craig tonight. Then I want to go to Zach Lavine. And so Zach Lavine, again, I think he continues to play well. I know you see the -10 in the box score, but without Zach Lavine and his effort tonight, the Chicago Bulls would have got ran out of the gym. Look, 27 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. I know he has the 4 turnovers, but once again, I liked his pace and I liked his assertiveness. He saw that the team didn't have it tonight, and he started off very well. And it's tough because he started off with 20 points in the first half, only finishing with 27. But I think that Zach Lavine did everything he could do offensively and defensively to keep this team in it. And as I'm watching him do his thing, it's just the frustration around this team because how can you have not built something better with the effort that you are getting from Zach Lavine? So I know he's been injured before, and we knew he's a great scorer, but it just seems like when you see this effort from Zach Lavine, and you just wonder, like from a front office standpoint, we were not able to get anything done around Zach Lavine. And I'm saying that because it looks like we're probably going to trade him, but I just wonder now, what is the direction of this team? Because if you think about it, if Zach Lavine is traded and we don't have him tonight, or we don't have a Vooch out there tonight, where would this team be? And so, Zach Lavine, a great effort tonight. And then with Vooch, look, Vooch, he struggled tonight, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He was -4 in the plus-minus box score. And I think that the Bucks did a terrific job in making it uncomfortable for him, shooting the basketball. For whatever reason, he couldn't knock down those shots. And then he was hitting in the paint. But, again, it was tough because of the length that you get from Giannis, Brook Lopez. Like, they did a great job. And don't get me wrong, Vooch did get the best of them at times, but not as much as he's gotten the best of other teams that are a bit smaller and being able to force some of those mismatches that Vooch has, done before this season. And so we didn't see a lot of that today. And I think that Vooch gave us what he could today. But just unfortunately, it wasn't enough. With Kobe White, 14 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, 3 turnovers. He had the best plus minus today in the box score. And so with Coby White, I think that the real concern for me is he injured? You saw him on the bike there. It looks like something happened with his knee, and then he was late to get back when the Bucks had scored on the next possession where he had fallen down or whatever the case may be. And so, look, he didn't have the 35 points tonight. He does score 14. I think one of the box notes in this game was that he has a career high right now as far as scoring the basketball at 19.9 points a game, if I'm not mistaken. So Coby White, he's definitely trying to take a step forward from his breakout season this last season. Not the best game today, especially when it came down to turnovers. And so next up, Josh Giddey. So Josh Giddey, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers, minus 15 in the box score. And so, look, as a team, the Chicago Bulls struggled, and Josh Giddey tonight really struggled on the defensive end there. That was tough, obviously, with the length that you're getting with the Bucks and just how they just beat the Bulls up physically in the paint today. I think at one point, Giannis might have outscored the Chicago Bulls himself in the paint. 41 points, 9 rebounds, 8 assists. And so anyway, Josh Giddey had a tough night defensively. Also, too, just offensively was not able to knock down some of these three-point shots. And they were open, just couldn't get those. Had a tough time at the rim tonight, and so a tough one for Josh Giddey. And so just the team in general, they've got to have a better start. Hopefully they can build upon some of the things that they did in tonight's game. But I just think that they got bullied by the Bucks. Next up, the bench. Ayo, 8 points, 3 assists, a steal. He also had 3 turnovers. He was minus 18 in the plus-minus box score. And so, look, Ayo, I think he's heating up as far as shooting the basketball. I think that that's getting better. I liked, just the voice that I'm seeing out of him, holding some players accountable out there on the defensive end. You can see the leadership qualities are coming through for him, something that Coby White and him talked about. But, just the minus 18, obviously we want him to be a lot more efficient off the bench today. And so a tough one for Ayo Dosunmu, but again, out there defensively, he's our best defender. I think you can expect to see a lot more of him, especially closing. That looks like something that Billy Donovan is going to go with. And so I want to see how this is going to play out as the season continues along. Jalen Smith, only 5 points tonight, 1 rebound, 2 assists, minus 12. Want to see some more of Jalen Smith. I think that especially with this trade talk around Vooch and that heating up, I talked about the low usage rate for Lavine and Vooch. This is where Billy Donovan, this team, they need to find out what you have with these young pieces before you go off and go trade these players and you don't know what you have. And so, look, Jalen Smith, I think certainly should have played a little bit more tonight because, look, with the length of the Bucks, we needed him out there. And speaking of needing more, Manas Mozelis, only 6 minutes tonight, 2 points. I did have 2 rebounds. He was minus 3. And again, I would like to see more Manas Mozelis. Even when the game got away from us, I thought that he should have been in the game much sooner than he was. Dalen Terry, I think that he was a bright spot tonight. 10 points, the 1 steal, the 1 assist. He did have a minus 5 in the plus-minus box score, but I love that Dalen Terry and his work is showing, just like Julian Phillips. You're seeing that they have really worked on their offensive game, and we saw that with the 3-point shots from Dalen Terry. I think during the ESPN broadcast, he was left open for a 3-point shot, and they were saying, yeah, that's the one that you want to leave open, and it was nothing but net. And so I love the confidence that I'm seeing from Dalen Terry. And once again, I love how Julian Phillips and Dalen Terry are willing to mix it up out there. This Chicago Bulls team needs that identity, and they need to have that. And so hopefully we get more of that as the season continues on. And Julian Phillips, 6 points, 2 rebounds, had a steal. He was minus 11 tonight in the box and the plus-minus box score. And so next up, just looking at the team box score really quickly, the key takeaway here is just that the Bucks were just, it was bully ball. I mean, 54 to 34 points in the paint. Look, I know this team struggles with points in the paint, but it was just to another level tonight with the physicality the Bucks brought to the game, because at the free throw line, Look, 21-7. The Bucks go to the free throw line 21 times to the Chicago Bulls 7. I mean, that just lets you know how aggressive the Bucks were tonight as far as getting to the paint, getting the calls. You hear it all the time that the team that is being the most aggressive generally is going to get those calls, and that's what you saw from the Milwaukee Bucks. And I mean, that's really, I think, the real difference here in this game. They just beat up the Bulls in the paint badly. They out-rebound the Bulls 45-33. And then as far as the fast breaks are concerned, it wasn't really a huge discrepancy there. It was 8-9. The Bucks, I think, win that. And then as far as the field goal percentage, look, I talked about the paint. 55% for the Bucks, 36.1 from downtown tonight. And it's not like the Chicago Bulls shot really bad. I mean, 46.6% and then 37.8% from downtown, which is something that the Milwaukee Bucks will give you. I talked about how they give up a high three-point percentage, and you'll have shots there. And so just the problem was we just couldn't get enough easy shots. And Milwaukee just continued to just go on these runs and spurts of just beating the Chicago Bulls up inside. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into the chat and see what's going on. But that is the post game for the Chicago Bulls as they get beat by the Milwaukee Bucks. And so, yes, from Anthony Johnson, bad loss for my Bulls. And I totally agree with you. It was a tough loss. And I think that probably one of the most disappointing things about this is just – at some point, it's the effort level, right? Because it's like, why do the Bulls continue to start off slowly? I think that's where, you just wonder sometimes. It's like, regardless of how good this team is, the effort has got to be there. And that's what makes it, just the loss even just worse, like that you don't bring that energy out there. And so, yeah, we just got to bounce back and get ready for the next game. Facts. I mean, I think that's what it comes down to. And I think that really, I've said this before in some of the videos, that the Chicago Bulls have to learn how to, I guess, lose in order to win. And I mean, it's just like you have to take about 3 or 4 steps back to take 10 steps forward. But can the Chicago Bulls actually learn from these mistakes? Because some of these things they continue to repeat, and that's got to stop. But yeah, hopefully we do get a bounce back game. It's going to get more challenging because we do have some injury concerns, but talk about that with Patrick Williams. I talked about this in the pregame, but Patrick Williams, when he went back and I guess they got his foot looked at, it looks like he's going to be out for at least a week. And that is concerning because it's the same foot that he had surgery on. And now we have the Hawks and Jalen Johnson coming up. We got Jaren Jackson Jr. coming up. And so there's going to be some teams that have some size, and we don't have one of our primary defenders out there. So that's going to be a challenge for us. And then we already know that with Lonzo Ball, he's going to be out. But we did get some positivity from Billy Donovan that looks like he's starting to ramp up. So hopefully sooner than later we get something back from him. Torrey Craig went down tonight. I guess he hit his leg on a camera or something like that. And so they said it's not serious. It's just maybe just hit his funny bone or something like that. But, that could, kind of hurt us too, because we might be depending on Torrey Craig, especially if we're not going to get Patrick Williams for some time, because according to the reports, he's got the swelling in his foot. And so the Chicago Bulls are looking for the swelling to go down before they reassess. And remember last year, he played 43 games. They had a 2-week evaluation period, and then he was out for a month. Then next thing you know, he had the surgery. So hopefully that is not the case for Patrick Williams, but not a very good injury update. And so, yeah, but I agree. Hopefully we get a bounce back game. And so with that being said, guys, I just wanted to jump on really quickly here. If there's nothing else in the chat, just a quick kind of post game with the Chicago Bulls. Like I said, a tough lost to the Milwaukee Bucks. And, we were in this game, and once again, just slow start, the physicality, we just weren't able to match that. We knew it was going to be a challenge with the injuries, and, it's only going to get a little bit more challenging for this team. And so, anyway, I'll see you guys on the next game, post-game here, but I'm getting ready to go ahead and drop a video about this game as well. So, appreciate you guys for tuning in on the live stream, and I'll see you on the next one. It's Bulls Digest. Peace.